Hello Gemini, and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements, looking at your connection between you and the person that you are dealing with and are needing to learn the most from right now. We'll be pulling for all three sides of the connection, so we'll look at your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it. The concept being that there are three sides to every story. So we're looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and this higher level unbiased truth in the middle. This middle section will be looking at what is the deeper purpose of the connection and the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. Friendly reminder that these are general readings and they are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and to leave what does not. On that note, and especially if you are a cross watcher, just know that this whole reading can be reversed. If that is the case for you, that is totally fine and totally normal. Again, the point is to take what helps and leave what doesn't. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, Gemini, let's jump on in. We are going to start with overall energy for this connection through oracle cards. So we're going to look at your energy, their energy, and the energy in between it through oracle cards first, and then we will dive deeper into the story with tarot as we progress. But let's first start here, Gemini, with your energy toward this person, your energy toward the person you are dealing with and are needing to learn the most from right now. This is for Gemini's side of this connection. Ooh, this energy is all over the place. Optimism, know your worth, and breakups and makeups. Yeah, okay. I feel like when it comes to this connection, and ultimately, well, okay. I think how you feel about this person stays consistent. How you feel about the connection changes a lot. And I think that it's kind of synergy of really kind of putting you through the ringer here, you know, getting hopes up and feeling like, you know, things are evolving, and then just feeling something. Things happen and there's disconnect and, you know, kind of feeling this crash kind of energy. And I feel like it started to make you feel, it started to make you question your worth a little bit. And I don't feel like that's really like you, but this connection has definitely had a pretty intense effect on you, especially with this breakups and makeups card. Like, I'm literally feeling this just like up and down. Like, it's just the energy is all over the place when it comes to this. And I think that it's hard for you to know how to proceed with this connection because things are so up and down. This person's energy toward you. Friendship with a wild card. I see where the up and down is coming from here. Underlying is grief and sadness. This person really values this connection. I do feel like they do. I feel like they value your place in their life. However, their energy with this wild card energy, it's just, it's so all over the place in terms of how they show up. Like, there are times where they show up making you feel, you know, valued and cared for and loved. And there are times where they make you feel as if you don't matter at all. And I think that it's, you know, it's really interesting looking at this energy from this place, because like that's gonna make anyone start to question their worth, right? Like, whenever you start to feel that distance and that detachment coming out of nowhere, you're gonna go, what the heck's going on here? Like, I thought things were good. I thought that we were headed in a good direction. So like, what, you know, what the hell? So I think that, you know, it's hard because I do feel like, you know, that this person cares about you and cares about the connection. However, this friendship card makes me feel as if this person finds comfort in surface level, meaning that they feel better when, you know, things are surface level, and that depth is something that is very challenging for them and something that they tend to avoid. However, I think that this connection tends to pull them into a little bit of depth, a little bit more depth than they're used to and comfortable with. And I think that's what makes them start to feel like, makes their energy start to feel so wild card. Is it's something that they like both value and enjoy, but also something that they're equally kind of scared of here. Truth of the connection between Gemini and this person. I'll shuffle really quick. Drama. Romance. Solitude. I'll take that as the underlying. Drama with romance and solitude. It's kind of interesting. This romance card is card number 24. The solitude card is card number 42. I feel like this person bounces back and forth between this energy. It's like coming on really strong, having all of this, kind of, this romantic vibe towards you, to just like withdrawn. This solitude and distance, and man, yeah. I mean, okay. I do think that there's a lot of drama when it comes to this connection. Maybe some things that, a lot of arguing, a lot of back and forth. I feel like, but it kind of feels like it's complicated for really no reason. Not meaning that not saying your feelings toward this aren't valid. Like, I get why it feels complicated, but it's almost like if this person would just stop with this would be fine. And I think that's what you're struggling with too, and maybe why you find yourself investing in this is it's like it would be fine if things would just, this person would just stop. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what's going on here. I want more. Their energy is definitely very confusing and conflicting too. So let's see what, let's break this down a little bit more. Overall theme of this, connection. I feel like this person is very in and out of your life. They're in and out of your energy for sure. It's never over. Around and around and around we go. And I think that it's hard because things always feel unfinished. Almost as if things never fully developed. Because yeah, it's almost like this person starts to withdraw when things start getting real here. What else? I feel like there's a very specific card. Because I feel like I've been shuffling for forever. Overall theme of this. It is worth it. There again, bouncing back and forth. Because the underlying is never again. You're like, it's worth it, it's worth it. Oh, I'm not doing that again. Never again, never again. Oh, it's worth it, never again. It's like a roller coaster. And I felt that immediately. I was like hit with it immediately as I started channeling. Where it feels like things are like, so up and down, but it's the ride is so exhilarating. Like, it's so thrilling. It's so exciting. It makes you feel so many things. But then you get off it, right? You get off the roller coaster and you feel so sick. Like, I don't ever want to ride that again. But then some time passes and you're like, I don't know, that sounds kind of fun. And you get back on the roller coaster. Yeah, it's around and around again, and it leaves you really, really struggling here because I think that you don't want, it's like you want the roller coaster. Well, I don't actually know if that's true. I don't think you want the roller coaster. I think you want consistency. But I think that because this connection is so, it makes you feel so many things. So it makes it hard. I don't know. I'm shuffling. It makes it hard to navigate. But let's dive into tarot. Let's look at this a little bit more. This is Gemini's side of this connection. Know your worth. Breakups and makeups. Gemini's energy toward this person, please. It's like, yeah, 1 second you're like, I'm so over this, and the next you're like, but wait, you know, I miss them, or I wish, you know, things were good, and then the next you're like, no, I can't do this anymore. And I get why. Like, your energy is totally understandable. That's why I kind of chuckled a little bit when I started looking at theirs, because it's like, yeah, anybody in your shoes, I feel like, would respond that way. All right, Gemini, let's look. Gemini's energy toward this person. I think this is the Eight of Swords, yeah. It's almost like you feel trapped. You feel trapped on this this roller coaster. Feel trapped in this experience. And I think that one of the reasons you feel so trapped is, I think, because the feelings are so strong here, and you do see, you know, how good things can get, that it makes it hard for you to navigate it like in a way that you normally would. Because like I said, I do feel as if this is different for you. The way that I feel like this connection is affecting you is different for you. This Five of Pentacles here, there's both a fear of losing the connection, but there's also this feeling of lack within it. So it's like, yeah, stuck between a rock and a hard place. It's like, I don't want to lose the connection, but I also know that I need more consistency, more vulnerability, more depth, more commitment. And I think that that makes it really challenging. That's why you probably feel so trapped, is because of that potential, I mean, that you see, yeah. And in the moments when things are good too, because, you know, I do think that there are times where things feel the way that you want them to feel, and then, you know, bam, things kind of shift. What else is going on here? Feelings are intense here. Ace of Wands, a lot of passion, a lot of chemistry maybe too. I think that's the main thing that kind of keeps you coming back, is that chemistry, the intensity of the connection. I think is very, the word is just, it's exhilarating. Like, that's the word that keeps coming to mind. Even though I feel like when things kind of, because this is a cycle that I feel has been going on for a while. So when things, you know, change, like when there is distance, you know, when you're off that roller coaster and you're feeling sick, it's like it all feels worth it because of how intense the connection is. All right, what else here? Ooh. Page of Cups in reverse, Two of Cups. I almost feel like in this connection, because of the intensity of your feelings here, it almost kind of feels like you have to hold back. I feel that you're so, it's like this energy of tiptoeing around this person, you know, making sure you don't do anything or say anything that's going to cause them to shift. Because I think that, yeah, there is that, like, there's times where things are good and then it's just like something happens and things shift. And I think that it's like there's this energy of trying so hard not to let that happen. There's a lot of love here. There's a lot of care. Especially, like, I feel like you care about this connection a lot. I feel like it's one that is incredibly important to you, and I almost feel like that becomes an issue. Not because caring about connections is a bad thing, but it does become complicated where we care about a connection so much and we get so afraid of losing someone that we start to lose ourselves. We start to lose ourselves in being what the other person needs, especially if we find ourselves tiptoeing, right? If we're not being honest about our needs, desires, and feelings, but we're trying to align with whatever we think the other person needs and desires so that we can make the connection work. Like, that's where things start to get, that's where we start to get ourselves in trouble. You've poured a lot into this, the Eight of Pentacles. You've poured a lot into this connection, into this person, into trying to make it work. And I feel like that's why I think that you're so all over the place, is because you feel that it's worth it when things are good, but then when things don't work, you're like, there's all of this frustration of how much you have poured and how much effort you have given to this. Yeah, and then the Six of Cups in reverse, just around and around again. It's that energy again, around and around again. Like, no matter how hard you try or how you show up, it just feels like you're not able to get to a place of consistency here. You just find yourself still lacking what it is that you desire. And man, yeah. This has been complicated for you for a while, navigating this. I think that the point of this reading is to help provide you with a little bit of clarity here. Let's look at this person's energy toward you. Wild card with friendship. Whoa, you would never guess that. The Empress with the Nine of Swords. This Empress is you. And their energy, whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter. You make this person feel insecure. Not intentionally. Not that you're doing anything wrong or that this isn't your fault. I feel like this person sees you in such a good light that it starts to highlight ways in which they feel inadequate. Which is so interesting because, they have these insecurities and these feelings of inadequacy, right? And then they project that onto you. It's like then the way that they act makes you feel as if you're inadequate. It highlights your insecurities. So yeah, there's a lot of mirroring here. This energy toward you. This person's confused when it comes to how they feel about this connection, because I think that the feelings are so strong, but the feelings that are strong also elicit a lot of uncomfortable feelings for this person, like those insecurities and those fears, around love not being good enough, things of that nature, that I think that they flip back and forth a lot about how they feel about this when it comes to whether or not, they desire it and they want to experience it. And I think you really pick up on a lot of that. It has nothing to do with them changing how they feel about you. Which is funny because I said at the beginning, I feel like your feelings toward this person stay consistent, but then the feelings around the connection change. Same with this person. I feel like the feelings towards you stay consistent, meaning that they do really value you and your presence in their life. But then I do feel like this connection makes them feel certain things that they don't like to feel, which all connections do. All connections are going to highlight insecurities and fears and bring up past stuff, and your ability to deal with that is going to determine your ability to have a healthy connection. I don't think this person's dealing with any of it though. And I think that that's why their energy, their actions come off in this wild card energy, is because it's like you don't know, you don't know how they're going to respond because you don't know what they're going to be experiencing emotion-wise that day. But that's nothing you can manage. Like, you cannot manage another person's emotions for them, right? Like, that's not your job. It's not your job to shrink yourself or to shrink your needs, desires, and feelings to placate another person. It's not your job to, be cool and coy just to make sure you don't, trigger someone's avoidance issues or, whatever the case is. And I think that, yeah, specifically in this connection, I think that this person, it's like, doesn't know how to deal with their feelings almost. It's interesting. It's almost like a little kid in a way. I'm not saying this person is a little kid, but it's almost like, when you're dealing with a little kid who has no idea how to adequately process emotions, so they throw temper tantrums, right? And they do these things that, little kids do because they're still learning emotional tools. Well, some kids are, some kids aren't. It's almost as if this person, it never really developed these emotional tools, so their emotions really consume them. And the way that they respond is always very emotional. It's very, oh, I feel uncomfortable, and instead of dealing with that, I'm going to make it your problem. I'm going to push you away or create distance. And that's where a lot of the drama comes from. This person's energy toward you. Dealing with a fire sign, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, but I also see this person, they might deal with kind of like anger issues almost, or unprocessed anger. So their responses to things are always really intense. And I think maybe that's why you're walking on eggshells around them, is you never really know how they're going to respond or how they're going to react. This person has a lot of unprocessed stuff, unprocessed pain, unprocessed past stuff. And I think that it creates a lot of issues in this connection, that's going to happen. No matter whether it's this person or anybody who has unprocessed past stuff, who hasn't dealt with their issues, it's going to become a problem in their relationships, because no matter what they're dealing with in the connection, they're always going to see it through the lens of what's been unprocessed. So that's why how this person responds or how they show up in this connection has nothing to do with you and everything to do with where kind of they're at in their own journey. It feels a lot like just kind of straight up emotional immaturity. Their energy, yeah, it's all over the place. And it's very rooted in insecurity and anxiety around love. And I don't know necessarily what happened, right? Obviously, this is a collective reading too, so it's gonna depend on the situation you're dealing with. But I feel like this person has experiences in the past that they really fear, whether it's abandonment or betrayal. And not only do they fear it, but they haven't really fully processed any of this. So that makes them expect these things, abandonment or betrayal or to be hurt in some way like they have in the past, which is why they are not opening up and letting you in, because they're not... They don't trust. I feel like you, but not because you're not a trustworthy person or not because you shouldn't be trusted, but because they just haven't dealt with any of the stuff that has made them show up this way. This person's energy toward you. Seven of Swords. Before I pulled this card, I kind of heard this person lies. and I don't know why. I don't know if it's like they wear a mask. I feel like they pretend to be somebody. They pretend to be somebody that they want to be, but they're not that person. And I don't necessarily know what that means. Like, and maybe that's what makes it so complicated for you, is like you do see that potential as like the version of them that they show up as sometimes. But then, yeah, these kind of true colors start to come out. This person's energy toward you. Okay, well, there it is, right there. Knight of Swords. This is the runner energy. Also, you could be dealing with a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. You don't have to be, but just calling it as I see it. So you had fire sign energy here, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, and water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. But I do definitely feel like this person, they're running from dealing with any of this stuff. Which is, I feel like what's really important for you to know is, and that's what it boils down to, the way that they're acting in this. It doesn't have anything to do with you. It has nothing to do with your worth. It has nothing to do with what you're deserving of, what you're capable of. It has everything to do with where they're at on their journey. Now, our relationships with other people are always a mirror, right? And when we're stuck in a cycle with somebody who, you know, continues to act a certain way, therefore leading us to not being able to have what we deserve. It's some sort of cycle toward us, or for us to look at how we are not treating ourselves the way that we deserve. And I think that, you know, we have to get honest about the role that we play in our own suffering, because other people, if people are acting from a place of running from things that they don't want to deal with, there's nothing you can do to change that, right? Like, it's not about you not being good enough, or you not being valuable enough, or you not being attractive enough, or whatever. In fact, I think it's kind of the opposite. I think that you bring a lot of value to the table here, and I think that it's something that this person, like I said, feels very insecure about. It's something that, you know, these inadequacies that they have, they carry. It's like deep down, they're so insecure that they feel that they have to put on a mask and be someone different in order to be loved, which isn't true, because I feel like you love them for who they really are. And it's complicated. It feels complicated because it is. I mean, the way that they're showing up, it is complicated but it's not about you, it's about them. So I feel like Spirit's trying to draw your attention to what's really happening here, like on the surface, to help you navigate this in a way that really protects you, to make sure that you're not getting harming yourself in the process of trying to save someone else from their own stuff, right? You can't push people to heal. You can't heal other people's stuff for them. And the more that you try, the more you start to lose yourself in that journey and on that process, and the more that you stay stuck on that roller coaster in that cycle that ultimately is keeping you from the love that you deserve and desire. So I feel like this is, really asking you to look at what is in your power and in your control here, but from a place of clarity and understanding that you're not doing anything wrong. Like, what you bring to the table is valuable enough, but the wrong people aren't going to make you feel valuable, not because they don't see you as valuable, but because they don't value themselves enough to feel they're worthy of receiving that value that you provide. So I'm going to hop on over to the extended. We're going to dive deeper into this, looking at the deeper purpose and the best way for you to move forward in alignment with your higher self. Any information is in the description box below. Otherwise, thank you so much, Gemini, as always, for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today, and I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Gemini.